social class. In the previous class we saw about the support of the socialism, and today we are going to see about the Russian Revolution. So if you see Russian Revolution, during that time Russia, not only Russia, even the European countries were being well developed in the industrial activities. So they have been increasing in their industrial development, and you can find the situation was really changing. It has been making economical benefits and reserve for the socialism. And during that time you can find that Russia was being taken into the hands of the socialism through the fight through the revolution of October Revolution, which was been in the year of 1917, and this October Revolution has made the monarchical government to be fallen down by February 1917. And this event is being called as the October Revolution. And normally this October Revolution is being called as the Russian Revolution. So you'll be asking me a question, ma'am, how did it come about? So what is about this revolution? So what were been the social and political situation in Russia at that time? And to answer all these questions, we are supposed to know first about Russia. So if you see about Russian Empire in the year of 1914, you have, please take your book, my dear students, so you will be able to know and clear idea about Russia. So if you see, this is the Russia. So this is the Russian Empire, and during the 19th century, that is 1914, Tsar Nicholas II is being considered as the ruler of Russia. So he has been completely ruling the Russian Empire, and beside this you can find that there were been also territories which was also existing, like Moscow. Russian Empire also includes the current day Finland, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, and parts of Poland and Ukraine. All these places are included in Russia in 1914s. Now it has not been included in Russia, but previously that much big empire Russia was. Okay, imagine how big it will be. So if you see, even it stretches towards the Pacific, and it has comprised towards the Central Asia. So till Pacific Ocean, and it has comprised till Asian continent also. So that much extent it has grown, and as well as you can find Georgia, America, Azerbaijan, all these places have been included in this. So major aspect about here is they had their own religion which is also favoring them. That is, they had the Russian Orthodox Christians, okay, and which also had the growth of other kind of religion, that is Greek Orthodox Church were also there, and it also included Catholics, Protestants, Muslims and Buddhists. So this is what is the picture of the Tsar Nicholas with white hall of the winter place. It is in St. Petersburg. So this is about the Russia, and about the 2.2 module, that is economy and society. So during 1914, when Russian Revolution happened, or when the October Revolution happened, the monarchy was overthrown and monarchy was not existing, but you can find there was lot of social and economical changes which has been brought. At the beginning of 20th century, you can find that there was a vast majority of Russian people who have been engaging themselves in the agricultural activity. About 85% of the people are being engaged in the agricultural activities in Russia. So Russia is having a vast population. As I told you, land wise also it's very vast, as well as agricultural wise also it has lot of people engaged in that, and it has earned the livelihood of the majority of the people, and the proportion was higher in most European countries. So the proportion was higher. Proportion means the people who are engaged in the agriculture. For instance, for example, you can see in France, in Germany, the proportion was between 40 to 50% people who are engaged in agricultural activity. But if you see in France, it is 85. In the empire, you can find cultivation production for market as well as for their own needs. Russia was the major exporter of grain. So that time you can find Russia was been involving itself excuse me, ma'am, involving itself in the agricultural activity. As we saw, 85% of the people are engaged. So they were able to produce products for themselves, food grains for themselves, self-satisfactory also, and it was also considered as a great exporter to the other countries also. So that has been one important thing about agriculture. And if you see about industry was also found in lot places in Russia. It is like found in packets. So promoted industrial areas in St. Petersburg and Moscow. In these two places you can find the industries are being getting developed. Along with that, craft work was also took up by the people. So they were been engaging in craft work, handcrafts, those things. And large factories were also being developed based on the craft works. And many factories were being set up around 1890s. And Russian railway also started expanding. Okay, so the network has been expanding, and the further foreign investment was also increasing during that time, and coal production was doubled, and iron production, steel production was outpattering, means it has been not imaginably production was increased. By 1900 you can find that some areas of factory workers and craft workers were also equal in numbers. So you can find the area which is being worked by the factory workers as well as the craft workers, the areas have been similar, both have been equivalent to each other. So that is how the industry was also going on. Then you see about the other peoples, like how the industrial works have been going on. There also they had the private owners. Private owners are only being the industrial owners. The government used to supervise. So it is supervising the works of the factories. So factories been ensuring whether the factory is giving proper wages, minimum wages to the workers or not will be seen. And also it will see the limitations of the hours of work. If a person is working, means he should work only for 8 hours. So whether it has been followed or not will be strictly seen by the government of Russia. But factories inspectors, they could not prevent rule by breaking. So when factory workers they cannot break the rule and do the work. As we are there in a situation where we are not able to break the rule of the government and make it to come to school. So similarly, those days in Russia, the Russia rule is a very important aspect. So they cannot break it and form their own rules. So that is also prevailing. And you can find the craft units, the small workers, the working days for them sometimes will be 15 hours, and comparing with the 10 to 12 hours in the factory works. Now we have the 8 hours work, but previously they are saying they are supposed to work for 15 hours. The craft workers. The factory workers will be 10 to 12 hours, and it will be even accommodated by the rooms. So they will be provided with the staying facilities, food facilities, and other thing also will be provided for the workers. And the workers were also divided in the society. Now you know how they were being divided. Some had the strong link with the villages from which they have come. So others had and settled in the cities permanently. So the workers were being divided by the skills. They were not divided based on you came from village, you came from town. They are being divided based on the skills they had. So metal worker of St. Petersburg are called as metal workers. So they were considered themselves as the artists, architectures among the workers, and they occupied demands more training and skills. Their occupation needs a lot of training, right? That is what is. So the women made up to 31% of their work into the employment aspect. So factories, they even entered into the factories for working. So in the 1914, so they were being paid less comparing to the men's, but they also were being willing to work. So the division among the workers shows themselves that their dressing manner. Metal worker, he used to have his own way of dressing, but normal workers will have their own way of dressing. So the difference of the workers were being seen by the dress itself. So dress and the manner they appear. Some workers formed associations in order to help their own workers, as we saw, no? And also the unemployment peoples. For that also they were being forming an organization. Or financially hardship. So when they face some kind of financial hardship, for that also they are being about to have an organization. So this organization was helping them. So next we see about the despite divisions which is also existing in our society in the further coming classes. Okay, my dear students, so I'll stop with this economical and society changes that happened after Russian Revolution till the topic, the content of third passage alone. The remaining I'll continue in the next class. Okay, my dear students, please go on read your content. Without reading history, you cannot understand. Okay, so go on reading. Thank you, my dear students.